Hey everyone, how's it going? You're listening to the Derek Corrigan Show podcast. Today we're going to kick it off with our 5 big takes. First off, we got one of the hottest baseball prospects I've ever seen personally, drumming up a lot of news, signed with the Angels in the last 24 hours. This Shohei, I don't know how to say it, Otani kid from Japan. This guy is one of the most solid prospects I've ever seen, pitching and hitting. This guy goes yard. We'll talk about that more later. Up next, we got Ronda Rousey making her transition, signing a deal with the WWE. She hasn't fought in the UFC since December 2016. So we're going to look at that, see why she's doing it. Can't imagine there's an actual reason besides money, but we'll look at it, give her a chance. Next up, we got Jared Goff and Carson Wentz, the two quarterbacks that I think are going to save the NFL. It's on a downward slope. They need something like them. Next up, we got everyone's favorite thing, awful GM moves. We just got a couple examples that we're going to talk about today. It's all relatable. It's all relatable. Every team has them. GM makes a horrible move, so we're going to talk about that. Next up, this morning actually, this wasn't supposed to be on the show because it wasn't really a thing, but Giancarlo Stanton is traded to the Yankees. What that means for the rest of the AL coming up, and we're going to throw in one extra one because it's the first show. Herm Edwards, I'm sure you've all heard, hired as Arizona State's new head football coach. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, why he's there, all coming up. So let's start off with Shohei, Otani. I don't know. Tweet me. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this guy is amazing. Now I've watched some of his highlight tapes. Of course, those are highlight tapes. Obviously, they're going to be pretty good. I mean, we're not looking at guys whenever they're cranking homers off of him, which doesn't happen a lot. It does not. He doesn't allow a lot of home runs. 2016 was obviously his best year if you're following him at all. He had a 1.85 ERA. 1.85 in 14 games. 140 innings pitched. 140. That is incredible. He only allowed 89 hits the whole season. 140 innings, 89 hits. That's amazing. That is comparable to Yu Darvish when he played in Japan, and even Yu Darvish in the majors with Texas and the Dodgers. It's impressive. I'll pull up Yu Darvish's stats real quick. I mean, this guy pitched, let's just go for, it's more comparable whenever he pitched for Texas. He pitched 137 innings. So almost 140, almost exactly the same. He started, though, 22 games. Where our boy Otani, he only started 20. So almost the same. This is a very comparable area for these two. You had what is it here? It's not showing me ERA. Come on, that's like the most important stat. Let's go up here. Let's find his ERA. It was good. Don't worry, it's really good. He had a 4.01 ERA this season with Texas in 137 innings pitched. Allowed 115 hits. Pretty low. Pretty okay. 4.01 ERA, not the best for such an elite pitcher like Yu Darvish, but definitely good. So back to Otani. Yeah, that's it, Otani. This guy, not only is he a lights-out pitcher, this guy's slider is nasty. If you haven't seen it yet, I suggest you go and watch it. His slider is comparable to no other than Mariano Rivera. That's all I can think of. That's the only person that comes to mind that has such a lights-out slider like him. Not only can he throw about 4 or 5 pitches, I was just watching the highlight tape. And like I said before, the highlight tape, that only shows the good. That doesn't show when guys hit off of him. Why would they show that? It's a highlight tape. This was from 2016, his best year when he had the 1.85 ERA. I'm not trying to take anything away from it. I can throw 100 miles an hour, but can also break a ball from the middle of the zone to the outside like it's nothing. And I want to see, I'm going to watch more on this guy when guys are hitting off of him. That's important to see. Are they all gap hits? Is he a ground ball pitcher? Is he a fly ball pitcher? He does not allow a ton of home runs. That's for sure. He only allowed 4 home runs. 4 home runs in 140 innings. 140. Do you know what that tells me? That tells me he gets ahead in the count. He's making batters work. He does not walk a lot of guys either. He does not walk people. He has 2.9 walks per 9 innings. That's pretty dang good. Whenever you have 11.2 strikeouts, 11.2. We all know, you watch 2 minutes of pitching highlights on this guy, you know he's going to strike people out. It's going to happen. You just watch it. That ball, that slider, man, I'm telling you, it's good. Really good. That thing will literally, like Mariano Rivera, that was Mariano's pitch. Mariano was one of, if not the best closer in history. And he used that slider all the time. That was one of those guys who had like 3 pitches. That's all you need. Where you got the other end of the spectrum, Otani, who has like 4 or 5. He's got the curve. I'm sure he's got like a circle change. I'm sure he has a changeup. He has a fastball, a fast fastball. We're not talking 96, 97, 100. You wait till he gets to Anaheim. They put him in the weight room. That thing's easily gonna break 100 consistently. Easily. But you look at guys like that, like closers like Mariano Rivera versus a starter like Otani, and Otani goes deep. That's the thing. You use that slider for maybe two innings as a closer. You have to mix in that slider when you're a starter the whole game. You're not facing 6 batters. You're facing at least, like this guy, he's facing a lot per game. He's going to the 7th inning. A lot. I mean, they might be going straight from Otani to their closer. That's how good this guy is. He doesn't even need a bullpen. Now, obviously, this is a foreign league. This is in Japan. The majors are a whole different game. I understand that. But do you know what doesn't change when these guys come over to the majors? Their pitches. It doesn't matter. If you have a nasty slider, you have a nasty curve, it's still going to apply. Are the hitters going to be better? Of course they're going to be better. He had 6 wild pitches. That is what you want in the majors. That means this guy has composure. He's not scared. He goes deep. We have an amazing bullpen. But that's what's important. He's got composure. He's good under pressure. He doesn't make mistakes. 6 wild pitches. That's impressive. And I'm pretty sad that he went to the Angels. Personally, I wish he would have went to the Cubs. Am I a Cubs fan? Absolutely not. Would he have made an awesome addition to that team? Yes. Would I like to see the Cubs get back to the World Series? Sure. Why not? Different. It's not your typical teams. That's why I'm excited for Giancarlo Stanton, which will be coming up later in the show, for the Yankees to be back in the talk. They haven't been for a while. I'm not a Yankees fan. On Otani's hitting, but let me tell you, it's impressive. Impressive. He hit, ready for this, in 104 games. 104. He had 382 plate appearances in 2016. That's insane. Scored 65 runs. Had 104 hits. 104 hits in 323 at-bats. That's awesome. That's awesome. Had a triple. Had almost 20 doubles. 67 RBIs. That's pretty dang good. This guy can put the ball in play. That's what I want to see. Will it matter whenever he goes to Anaheim? Absolutely not. But this is just for hitters in general. Everyone loves the long ball, of course. Everyone loves to just crank one out of the park. But I like to see guys who can hit in the gap, get on base. I would rather watch that game. I would rather watch guys get left on, guys steal. I would much rather watch that than guys like Pablo Sandoval, Big Papi, Billy Butler, when he was in the league, walk up and either strike out or fly out at the warning track. That's not fun to me. That's not interesting. So, Otani, awesome hitter, awesome pitcher. I think he'll be awesome in the league, in the show, at the top level. I don't doubt it for a minute. So, that's enough of that. We'll move on to our next topic. Change it up here. Real short. Ronda Rousey. Once top of the game. UFC. Just like McGregor. Top of the game. Is in final contract talks with the WWE. I don't watch the WWE. I've never, ever watched more than like 5 minutes of pro wrestling. Pro wrestling. Give me a break. Give me a freaking break. WWE is so boring. I think it's boring. Some people love it, and that's okay. I don't like it. I don't think it's interesting. I would much rather watch something where the outcome's not already decided, like any real sporting event. I would rather watch that. I'd rather watch, like, women's curling. I'd rather watch the WNBA than watch WWE. It's so boring. That's how we just know that since she lost to Amanda Nunes, which that fight was fast, in like under a minute. She got KO'd. Was anyone expecting that? Not really. But lose with some dignity. I mean, really. You're better than this, Ronda. Maybe you really love pro wrestling. That'd be one thing. But I have not heard that yet. I have not heard that you just absolutely love it. That you're a huge fan of pro wrestling. That doesn't come out of your mouth. So, all I can think of is this is a total money grab. Which I don't care. That's fine. No big deal. WWE's fake anyway. It should be a money grab. That's all it is for anyone. This stuff doesn't matter. No one cares who wins WrestleMania. Whatever. I don't know anything about it. If I sound stupid, it's probably because it doesn't matter. I don't watch it and I don't care. No one cares who wins WWE SmackDown versus Raw. It doesn't matter. It's fake. So you know what? Good for her. Good for her for getting however much money they make. I really don't know. I don't care. But you know what? If that's what you want to do, you want to go out and make money, good for you. Instead of getting your face actually smashed in UFC, more props to you. Next up, I'm real excited for this topic right here. I actually am, not even being sarcastic. As we all know, the NFL's taken a huge hit in ratings. Partly because of all the drama. I don't think that's really that big of a factor as people think it is. Someone kneeling for the national anthem. Yeah, I don't like it, but I'm not boycotting the NFL. I'm not boycotting football because some guys feel like kneeling for the national anthem, which I usually don't even watch. I mean, come on, really? You're telling me that you I gotta turn on the game 5 minutes before kickoff to watch some person I've never heard of sing the national anthem? No. I watch football for football. I try not to pay attention to stuff like that. Stuff like the national anthem. Stuff like Jerry Jones suing the NFL because they want to rehire Roger Goodell. I just don't watch it. I don't think it's important. I watch football because I like the sport. I like the game. I like watching football because that's what it is. It's football. It's not Jerry Jones' soap opera. It's not your social platform. That's not the reason I watch football. I really don't care. And I'm not just saying that because I think I'm more intelligent than everyone. I don't think I'm some elitist. Oh, I don't care about you kneeling. Oh, no. I watch football because I like it. It's interesting. It's entertaining, unlike WWE SmackDown versus Raw. It's fun to watch a competitive game of football. It's interesting. That's why I watch football. So that's why I'm really excited about Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. I am unbelievably excited about these two guys. Number one, number two. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? Also in the league right now, number ones and number twos, Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston. Jameis had a lot of talk going into the season, so did Mariota, but it kind of fell to the wayside because of these guys. Carson Wentz took that Eagles team and turned them into an elite force. And yeah, people are knocking them. People are definitely knocking the Eagles. They lost to the Seahawks. Yeah. It's not like they were undefeated and they lost to the Seahawks. They had one loss. They're not invincible. They're human. So don't act like just because they lose one game, that oh, they're not real. They're not for real. They won 9 games in a row. 9, 10 games, whatever it was, in a row. And you're telling me that's not an elite team in the NFC? You're joking. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, it's an elite team. Any team that wins 9 or 10 games straight is an elite team. Like the Giants always used to seem to do, or they'd start out with some awful record and go to the playoffs and go deep sometimes in the playoffs with that record. So yeah, don't tell me that they lose one game. Yeah, they got burned that game. Okay, they were exposed. Do you know what you do when you get exposed? and especially a smart guy like Carson Wentz, very smart quarterback, calls some of his own plays. Second year in the league. Already calling plays. That's awesome. Do you know what guys like that do? They adapt. They overcome losses. He played for NDSU, an FCS school. Do you think they were always just awesome? Do you think at every level of his life he just won every single game? Probably not. Maybe he did. But Carson Wentz is a smart dude. He's going to figure it out. Don't worry. It's going to happen. And I plan on seeing the Eagles. Burped a little bit there. I plan on seeing the Eagles deep in the playoffs. I hear from a lot of people that they aren't for real. They aren't an elite team in the NFC. Well, newsflash, yeah, they are. And they're going to the playoffs. They're going to win that division, that's for sure. It's going to happen. Get ready, because you're going to see Carson Wentz in the Eagles and Jay Ajayi, who shouldn't be on that team, in the playoffs. I'm happy that he's on that team. I'm happy for them at least, but he shouldn't be on that team. We're going to talk about that more next. But moving over to Los Angeles, Jared Goff. First year where he's kind of turned it up. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. I'm impressed with the offensive production, which has been pretty dang good. From a team coached by Jeff Fisher, who I think personally is one of the worst coaches of all time. And it's funny how in the NFL, bad coaches like that just seem to hang around. The Rams had Jeff Fisher for so long for absolutely no reason. He wasn't a good coach, and people are like, well, if he wasn't a good coach, why was he there so long? I don't really know. That's a good question. That's in our next section. Bad GMs. Why do you keep coaches like that around? Look at Ben McAdoo. He just got fired because he made some stupid choices. Jeff Fisher made some stupid choices. Didn't win games. Got fired. That's the end of it. They finally fired him. Now he has good coaches around him. Jared Goff does. He has good coaches. I'm excited for his development. Do I like the Rams? Not really. But you know what? We're going back to that. I like football. I want to see some different teams be good. I am tired. I'm so glad the Seahawks. I don't wish a team to be bad, but they had their time. I'm glad they're kind of done now. Steelers. That's different, though. Here's why I don't mind that the Steelers are always competitive. Because they're consistent. They're not a fad. Ben Roethlisberger isn't a fad. Le'Veon Bell isn't a fad. Antonio Brown isn't a fad. They're always good. They've been good ever since they've had Mike Tomlin. That's why I don't mind it. Patriots, same way. They're not on this roller coaster of hope. You know they're going to be good. You come to expect it, and it's not a big deal. It's teams like the Seahawks that just come out of nowhere. They're good for 3 years. They have some awesome new radical idea, the read option, in the NFL. They use it, and now it's washed up. Everyone knows it. Those are the kind of teams that bother me. Teams like the 49ers also, in the same division. Good for a little while. Now they're awful. One of the worst teams in the league. Probably right behind the Browns in that 31-32 ultra-competitive race. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. And I think it's just an awesome story with Jared Goff being the local boy coming in, just totally tearing it up. Rams have awesome offensive production. He's got a mid-90s QBR, and it's consistent. You look at his QBR compared to Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, it's higher. Not going to lie, it is higher. Carson Wentz also usually completes over 60% of his passes. It's impressive. Guy has 29 touchdowns this season. Impressive. 102 QBR rating average this whole season. About 10 points higher. But that's okay, because he's not as consistent as Jared Goff. And that's important. It's important for a team that is not consistently good to have that consistency. You think Big Ben can come in, Tom Brady, and just totally suck for like 3 weeks and then be just awesome, and then suck and be awesome, and they're going to have the same amount of success that they've had over the last decade? No way. No way. But like I said, I like football. I'm excited for this. I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm not a Rams fan. But that's an awesome NFC battle. I would love for that to be like a Dan Marino, John Elway type thing. I would love it. If these two teams got good, and I like how these guys play. I like how both of them play. The Rams defense, they're lighting it up this year. They're awesome. They're doing great. I would love to see that kind of stuff. Because who actually wants to see something like Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning? I'm not saying I'm mad that Peyton was good. I'm saying, who wants to see some guy just come into the league and totally suck? Some number 1 draft pick. Ryan Leaf is a little different. I don't have as much sympathy for him because he was not a nice guy. He wasn't charming or approachable. He's like Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel. I don't care that Johnny Manziel totally sucked and isn't even in the league anymore because he wasn't a good person. I don't think Baker Mayfield's a good person either. I think he's the next Johnny Manziel too. That's besides the point. Point is, I want to see some competition, and that's what the NFL needs. They're losing ratings to sports like hockey and basketball, and MLB is not losing, but they're pretty consistent on ratings. Do you know why the NHL is gaining ratings? It's what people want to see. It's violent. It's fast. It's competitive. There's excitement. It's new. Football has so much other stuff, extracurriculars I call it, that people don't want to watch necessarily. The NHL doesn't have that. They don't have that problem. And the NFL's getting less competitive. You have the Patriots, Pittsburgh, these dynasties, and I'm not hating on them, but it's anti-competitive. You see the same teams in the playoffs every year. That's why Jared Goff and Carson Wentz are super important for the future of the NFL. And so is Jameis and Marcus Mariota. Very important to the future. Alright, next up, we got probably the longest segment that we're going to have today, and that's bad GMs. Okay, the reason I put this in here is because recently, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. Recently, not in the overall NFL season, but we traded Jay Ajayi to the Eagles. Do you know what we traded Jay Ajayi for? a 4th-round pick. Really? Really, Chris Greer? And don't think that's the only bad thing Chris has done. Oh, no. Chris signed Jay Cutler because Adam Gase wanted him there. And do you know why they traded J.J.? Because Adam Gase didn't like him. You're the GM. The coach will coach the players. You make the decisions on who he's going to coach. You and your team, not Adam Gase. So for you to just bend over like that and trade one of the best running backs in the league for basically nothing. You didn't get a player out of it, which we didn't need. You got a 4th-round draft pick. That's pathetic. What did that negotiation call sound like? Yeah, it's Chris Greer from the Dolphins. You want JJ, you got to give us something, because otherwise Stephen Ross is going to get mad at me and probably fire me, like he should, if I don't get at least a 4th-round pick. And the Eagles are probably like, yeah, I think we can make that work. Okay. And do you know what JJ is doing right now? He's tearing it up on a team that's actually trending upwards, the Eagles, unlike the Dolphins, who signed Jay Cutler this season to a 1-year contract, who's also, ready for this, the 2nd highest paid player on their payroll. Right behind Ndamukong Suh, who's having a very underwhelming season and had a very underwhelming season last year. Chris, you're not going to re-sign Ndamukong Suh. You're not going to do it. You've already said you're not going to. You're not interested in doing it. Why don't you trade him? Do you think another team's not going to pick him up? Because this is not the same as Jay Ajayi. You would have re-signed Jay Ajayi to an extension, which all Dolphins fans would have been okay with. You would have been hard-pressed to find a Dolphins fan that would have said, I think we should let Jay Ajayi go for basically nothing. That just doesn't exist. Suh, on the other hand, that's different. The hardcore fans who know that this season is basically a joke, because that's what it is. It's really a joke. It doesn't matter at all. They know that Suh should have been traded for something, because guess what? He's going to walk away an unrestricted free agent after this season, after this joke of a season. Trade him for anything. I would have taken a 4th-round pick for Ndamukong Suh. Because at the beginning of the season, we all knew that he wasn't getting re-signed. That we weren't getting anything for him at the end of the season. I would have taken a 7th-round pick from the Patriots. Trade him in the division. Chris, you like making stupid decisions. You might as well do that. Chris, thanks a lot for not only ruining this season, which you did whenever you let Adam Gase bully you into signing Jay Cutler, and then you also let him bully you into trading Jay Ajayi for nothing. Thanks a lot, Chris, for signing Suh to a massive contract where he hasn't done anything. How do you think that makes Cameron Wake feel? A clearly better player, a higher production player. How do you think that makes him feel, Chris? Alright, we're going to move on to baseball here. Baseball GM. Big one, I'm from Missouri. I'm not a huge Royals fan. People are here, though. Royals aren't going to re-sign Moustakas, Hosmer, and Lorenzo Cain. They're not going to do it. Everyone's known that. Everyone from the casual fan to the front office knows they're not re-signing them. The Royals are a cheap team, and they are not cheap players anymore. Good job letting them go. You don't think by the trade deadline you kind of knew that this season wasn't going anywhere? Whenever you were like hovering 500, and you got teams like the Astros who had a amazing season in the American League, the Twins who were pretty good, in your division, the Yankees who were pretty good. You weren't able to just kind of feel it out that you probably weren't going deep? Huh? But do you know who you keep around over and over again for $16 million a year? Mr. 208 batting average, 99 hits, 9 home runs, Mr. Alex Gordon. Gordo! Really? You're in the American League. Clearly the more offensive-based league of baseball. And you keep around Alex Gordon? Come on. Really? This guy has never been good at hitting. Let's check out his career batting average. We're not going to go through the whole career. We're going to go the last few years because that's what matters. Let's see. He went to the All-Star game in 2013. Let's check out his batting average in 2013. He won a Gold Glove too. His batting average was .265. That's respectable for him. That's all right. Now, I know not everyone's a power hitter. That's okay. I'm not trying to limit guys to only hitting homers. I just talked about that with Otani. The guy puts it into play. He also hits home runs. And that I'd rather see guys put it into play. But here's the thing with Alex Gordon. Alex doesn't put the ball in play. Alex doesn't hit for extra bases. Alex hits into double plays and ground ball outs. Right to shortstop. Do you know why he always hits it to shortstop? Because his bat speed is slow. Real slow. Oh, cool. I'm looking at the stat chart right now. They have projections for the 2018 season. Check out this batting average. Oh, 226? Ha, yeah, right. Yeah, right. 455 at-bats, 103 hits. Okay. Nah, I don't think he's breaking 100 like he did this season. 99 hits. Oh, that's okay, never mind. He improved. He's up from the 2016 season where he had 98 hits, and he's up from the 2015 season where he had 96. 96. Wow. Wow. Nice, Alex. 208 batting average, 220, 271. Cool. You're telling me, Mr. Dayton Moore, Royals GM, there's not a guy in your farm system that you probably could pay $500,000 that can't get 99 hits, can't hit 208. Really? Really? Nice GMing. Letting your best players go. Your home run leader, Mike Moustakas, who hit 38 home runs. Letting him go for nothing. But you're going to keep around Alex Gordon for $16 million a year. Nice one, dude. You have fun sucking the next 5 years. Let's move on. Alright, this next one probably would not have been in the show. I was going to talk about the Jahlil Okafor trade, and now he finally gets to actually play be good on a team because he's a good player. But instead, we're going to talk about Giancarlo Stanton, who's going to the Yankees. Okay, this is good GMing. This is right here. What's the name of the Yankees GM? Let's look it up real quick. This is good GMing because do you know what this does? This defines what your team's going to be. Your team's going to hit home runs. The Royals, going back to the last section a little bit, they had an identity when they were competitive, when they went to the World Series, when they won the World Series. Ned Yost had them playing a brand of baseball. Do you know what their brand of baseball this year was? We can't hit. That was it. We can't hit the ball. We have guys like Alex Gordon hitting .208. We can't hit the ball. Got Cheslor Cuthbert. Can't hit either. No. The Yankees and Brian Cashman, they have an identity now. They were competitive. They were one game away from going to the World Series in 2017. You don't think that leaves a little bit bad taste in your mouth after you fire your manager? That one game couldn't get it done. That's why they say, we're going to be an offensive team now. We're bringing in Giancarlo Stanton, who hit 59 home runs last year. And we already have Aaron Judge, who also is, I believe, he was the home run leader. I believe he was. Let's see. Aaron Judge hit 114 RBIs, 284 average. Pretty good. Pretty good. He had 128 runs. The Yankees are going to be an exciting team. They're going to put the ball into play because not only is Giancarlo Stanton a home run hitter, he's a pretty good hitter overall. He's got a long contract. Long contract. Coupled with Aaron Judge, who hit 52 home runs. That's 59 more home runs than you had last year. The Yankees are going to be good. I don't know about their manager situation or their pitching situation, but they're going to score a lot of runs. These aren't guys like Jeff Francoeur back in the day, who had like one good month. Look at it, I swear. Look at Jeff Francoeur's stats, like by game. The dude had one good month, was never good again. That's not Giancarlo Stanton. Aaron Judge, he's Rookie of the Year. We don't know yet. We don't know if he's going to be a one and done. I don't think he will be, but we don't know yet. Giancarlo Stanton, on the other hand, he's proved himself with the Marlins, who is now under the ownership of Derek Jeter. Not personally, but Derek Jeter's investing firm. And do you know what smells a little fishy? That old Derek Jeter decided to trade the Marlins' best player to the Yankees. I'm not calling collusion here yet. I'm not going to do that. I'm not being that guy. Look, Giancarlo Stanton didn't want to go to the Cardinals. Okay. But I'd go to the Yankees. The Cardinals suck. They're on a down slope. They're not any good. The Yankees are on an upward slope. You don't think another slugger like Giancarlo Stanton wants to go play with Aaron Judge? Yeah, he does. Who wouldn't want to play with Aaron Judge? That'd be awesome. Having a teammate that hits 52 home runs when you hit 59 home runs? How cool is that? Nah, Giancarlo Stanton. Look at that. Look at this. All-star appearance. MVP. Yeah. MVP this year. 132 RBIs. 281 batting average. So you got two guys hitting 281, this whole season. At least 280. That's impressive. Now, he does hit into a lot of double plays, but that doesn't matter. The guy hits it yard. His job's not to put the ball in play. His job is to hit homers, like Aaron Judge. And when you hit 59 homers, I'd say you're a pretty confident hitter. So that would kind of explain the whole 13 hits into double plays. I'm surprised Alex Gordon doesn't have more. He only had 7. I'm impressed. That's his only good stat. Ooh, Alex Gordon has Giancarlo Stanton in 1 hitting stat. What's that? Oh, hitting into double plays? That's probably because Alex Gordon just strikes out all the time. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited. I think it'll be a good move. Good team. Fun to watch. Just like in the NFL. I want more competitive teams. I love the Astros winning the World Series. That's awesome. I think that's cool. I'm ready for the Yankees to be back. Not a Yankees fan, but I like competitive sports. That's why I don't watch WWE. Alright, and I decided to add one more because it's close to my heart. This is very close to my heart. Herm Edwards. Herm, yeah, from ESPN. Yeah, from the Chiefs. Yeah, from the Jets. Had 2 winning seasons. He's the new coach of Arizona State. Arizona State is close to my heart because that's where I will be going to college. And I will be there while Mr. Edwards is the coach. Initially, he got a lot of backlash, including myself. Herm, you're not a good coach. Your track record shows it. Do you know the last time Herm Edwards held a college coaching job? 1989 at San Diego State. Might be San Jose. I can't remember. That's the last time this guy has held a college coaching job. And in his press conference, wasn't looking promising either. Was not looking good. Herm basically said that he likes football, he watches football, and he follows it, so he'll be a good coach. Yeah, I like football. I watch football. Am I going to be an awesome coach? Probably not. I got to give Herm a little bit of credit. He has coached in the NFL. He was able to get 2 jobs in the NFL. Okay. It's understandable. I'll give Herm credit there. That's until I finally figured out what Herm was there to do. Herm isn't there to coach. Herm isn't there to call plays. Herm isn't there to be at 2-a-days. Herm isn't there to be at camp. What did Todd Graham not do? He did 3 things wrong. He promised to go to a national championship. Come on, even though this diehard Sun Devils fan knows that's not happening. There's not a snowball's chance in hell ASU was going to a national championship anytime Todd Graham was there. Todd Graham also promised consistent top 25 finishes. That never happened. And the third thing Todd Graham promised, didn't really promise, but just fell short of, was recruiting. Now, I'm not just going to totally crap all over Todd Graham here. Arizona State, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, all in the Pac-12. Those are hard schools to recruit to. What are your pipeline states? California, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, states like that. You can get guys from New Mexico, but do you know where you are going to have a tough time getting guys from? California. So they're not just going to other schools in California. They're going to teams you play every year. They're going to UCLA, they're going to Cal, they're going to USC and Stanford. they're farther north. Before this season, they're probably going to Oregon. They're going to Washington. It's a tough place to recruit from in the West. Tough. Todd Graham could not recruit. You look at the guys they get, and I've looked at current ASU players and their highlights, their huddles. They're not very good. They're not what a top-tier program like Arizona State should be getting. Arizona State's like the biggest university in the U.S. Their facilities are second to none. Yeah, they're not as competitive as Oregon was, as Stanford is, USC or UCLA. But I mean, the guys they were getting were not the cream of the crop. No 5 stars. I don't even know if Arizona State had a 5-star recruit on their team. But that's what Herm's there to do. Old Hermie, he's there to be an emotional leader and a recruiter. I don't see Herm down there actually calling plays. I don't see it. He even mentioned that they were going to take a more professional general manager structure, and this is one thing I liked. Herm said, as high school coaches, college coaches, what's their job? Their job is to get their players onto the next level, whether that be college or the NFL or the CFL, wherever they're going. That's their job, to prepare them for that. That's one of the only good takeaways I had from Herm's press conference. That's it. So, I was very upset about this until I realized Herm's not calling plays. Herm's not coaching. That's what the coordinators are for. And he's keeping all the coordinators, which is good. You have a young quarterback in Manny Wilkins. You have a pretty young team. Like your best receiver, N'Keal Harry, will be a junior. You have a young team. It's important to keep that consistency there. So, I think the future's looking bright for ASU. If not next season, the season after that, whenever Herm's actually fully recruiting players. He's going to be the face of that program, and I think he's going to turn it around, not by coaching, but by recruiting. All right, that's all we have for you today. Hope you liked it. Hope you tune in next week, Saturday at noon. On SoundCloud, the Derek Corgan podcast is out. Have a nice weekend.